Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk with Suits, and I am your host, Suits. So, in a previous episode, somebody had requested me to do the dark web and explain what the dark web actually was. To recap that, there's 3 levels of the internet. Top level is clear web, which is about 10% of the internet. That's pretty much anything that you Google is in there. There's the deep web, which makes up 80-90%. And that's where a lot of the databases and things like that are kept. Information companies just don't want you to have because they store it online, or it requires a login, and so therefore it is members only, if you will. Mixed in with that is the dark web. The dark web is the place where it's for anonymity. And anonymity, whether good or bad. If I am a whistleblower or I want to discuss something on a message board without anybody knowing who I am and it coming back to me, anonymity also means that you can sell stuff online that you shouldn't because anonymity, and Bitcoin is also anonymity. I decided to go through and do a top 12 of the things that I found that at least at some point in time, and probably still are, allowed to be purchased on the dark web. Now, I actually did order these because I start off with stuff that I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It seems like a very popular thing that shady people would do. Then it gets down to a few of the cringy ones. And I will warn you, the last one is very cringy to me. The last 2 are cringy, but the last one is... ugh. So, number 12, Social Security numbers. This makes perfect sense because people want to do identity theft all the time. So why not sell Social Security numbers? So be very careful with those. Along with that, number 11, credit cards, credit card numbers. If you didn't think that that credit card numbers are being stolen all the time, then yeah, hate to pop your bubble. Along with those things, a lot of personal identification, documents, passport, things like that, they're all the time sold on the dark web. This one surprised me a little bit, but it makes some sense as well. Lately, 3D printers are very, very popular. Now, 3D printers cost usually a lot of money, especially if they're good quality 3D printers. So instead of buying one, you could do what a lot of people do and find somebody on the dark web who sells things that they've made on the 3D printer. What's become very popular recently is gun parts. If you follow any politics, the whole ghost guns thing, 3D printers. Now, that's not the only thing that 3D printers are used for. They can also make other tools and anything else, and if I want to buy something anonymously, it's there. But currently, gun parts are very, very popular now because of the political environment. 9. This one is debated for a couple of reasons, and I'll go into those. Hitmen. Now, somebody asked before, well, can you just, are there hitmen lists out there? Yes and no, technically. It's speculated that there's 3 different things making up hitman lists. 1, undercover cops waiting for somebody to just say, hey, kill my spouse, or this person I hate. And then it's a sting operation, then they come arrest you. 2, people messing around with you online that just say, hey, I'm going to say I'm a hitman, and then just troll people. 3, actual hitmen. Now, as much as I want to say there's no actual hitmen online, years ago, somebody from a university did a study, and I don't know how they did the study. It sounds dangerous, but whatever. When they did their study, they found that there were actual hitmen online, and they wanted to see how much money it costs and how they go about things. Don't know how they did this, but they did. They found that most of the time, this is not like John Wick where you spend like $1 million in a hit. He said normally it's like maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on what's going on. And he said it's not at all like the movies where they go into complicated stuff. So apparently it's a thing. Number 8. This one shocked me a little bit. EMP devices, electromagnetic pulse. If you haven't seen any movies with this in, it's that little, well, in this case, in the movies, they're huge. But it's a device that sends out an electromagnetic pulse, which pretty much fries electronics. So in a lot of movies where they knock out power grids or things like that. In this case, it would be a small handheld or fits in your pocket device that can send out enough of a signal that it's not necessarily going to fry the electronic device, but it will mess with it. So what will end up happening, people apparently will use these for trying to use the jackpots or the slot machines. So I'm just imagining somebody with a little handheld buzzer type thing putting it up to the side of the slot machine and cranking the slot machine. obviously don't play slots, and getting a jackpot each time. They actually made fun of this on a James Bond movie where I think it was Q is going down the island of a casino and he's just getting jackpot after jackpot after jackpot. And Bond is like, wow, you're good. And he goes, nope, technology, and holds up a little handheld device. So not only for casinos, but also apparently they work on vending machines. So if you want that free soda, I guess. This one I didn't think about, but it makes total sense. Number 7 is Powerball. Yes, the dark web has its own lottery. Now you might say, well, the lottery is legal in most states. Okay, most states. So if you're in one of those states, like Utah, that doesn't allow lottery, then you can do it on the dark web. But the other big reason is because it's a Powerball, it is actually going through cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And because that's anonymous, you can win a lot of money. And because it's anonymous, you don't pay taxes on it. So you are getting the lottery. So if the Powerball is $3 billion, you just got $3 billion cryptocurrency untaxed and technically untraceable. So it's an interesting thought. All right, I get it to a point, but I guess I just don't care about social media as much as some people. 6, you can buy yourself Twitter followers. So when you go to make a tweet, you get a lot of more people. Now, these are not hacked accounts necessarily. It could be that somebody hacked an account and decided to add them on. Most of the time, it's just bots. So little fake accounts with the computers attached, and they will follow whatever account they're told to, and you can buy followers and be fake popular. Whatever. 5. This got a little bit cringy and weird to me because it's not illegal, it's just weird. So I guess anonymity on the dark web is this one would play a key role. I guess at one point, and there might still be going on, there was let's just say an attractive young lady who was willing to write a message on her body somewhere if you paid them enough. So you could write a message on a hot girl, apparently, on the dark web. I don't know if they gave you pictures or video proof, or I don't know. I don't want to know, but okay, whatever. Number 4, now we start getting cringy and into the darker side of things where you're like, oh, Social Security numbers, yeah, it's a bad thing. But now, number 4 is organs. And I don't mean piano organs, I mean human organs. And yes, it did give some prices about where things in the ballpark were. Eyeballs, kidneys, livers, things like that. I think they said eyeballs go for like 15. I don't remember how much kidneys and livers went for, but I should pay more attention because I kind of want a new car. So you don't need both kidneys, right? No, I think I'll keep mine and just save up for a car. All right. Number 3. Number 3 is a little bit awkward, so I'm not going to beat around the bush too much with it. Swimmers is what they titled this. And I don't mean swimming pool swimmers. I mean guys swimmers. So apparently a group of men on the black web were found to be selling their sperm. The reason why this is such a big problem is because it wasn't going through a screening process for disease. They were just selling it. And I don't remember what country it was in, but yeah, they ended up getting caught and that was problems. So yeah. When I first read swimmers, I was like, why would anybody want to purchase a person who can go through the water? And then I read it out and went, oh, not at all what I thought it was. All right, number 2, this is getting into pretty dark territory. And yes, it does still happen on the dark web. You can buy a slave. Now, when I say that, it's more of the human trafficking side. Yes, people are still for sale for all sorts of reasons. I'm going to guess it's not to have yard work done. Usually the human trafficking is more of the really messed up nature. So I'm going to move on from that one. Number 1. This one confused me at first. This one is probably the darkest and most cringy. Yes, to me, it's even almost over the slaves one. Spirits. Now, when I first read this part, yes, it said children's spirits. And I was thinking like little mini bottles of alcohol. Like, okay, what, like alcohol for children? That doesn't make sense. No, it's very popular apparently over in places like Thailand where you can purchase human spirits, supposedly. They'll do their little ritual, their seance, whatever it is, and then capture the spirit and then sell it. What I found interesting was this one in particular was children spirits. Now, as you might wonder, is it like a certain ritual that they do for kids instead? Probably technically. However, in this case, this, like I said, is the cringiest part. Apparently, in some of these countries, they will wait for there to be either an abortion performed or maybe a stillborn, and they will have the people there ready to capture said spirit. Yeah, like I said, pretty cringy. Not a fan of that one. Obviously, I was like, that got dark fast. So, but it's one of those things that's sold on the dark web, and it's not called the light web, so you're going to expect some shady, creepy, cringy stuff. But there's all sorts of other stuff that I found that was for sale. Not that I was searching for things, but I was looking for lists of what people had found. You can also buy uranium. You can buy explosives like C4. You can buy anything basically where you'd want anonymity or think, hey, that sounds illegal. Yep, it's probably been for sale on the dark web. My favorite thing that's not cringy at all that somebody was selling on the dark web was sand. Yeah, little rock sand. Wasn't illegal sand, it was just somebody had scooped it up from the beach and was selling that on the dark web. Why on the dark web? Because they were. But yeah, sand, beach sand was being sold on the dark web at one point. Whether it still is or not, no idea. All right, if there's anything that you think, hey, I'd like to hear more about this, or you know that something else was being sold on the dark web that you want to comment down below or me to talk about, if there's any other subject that you say, hey, I'd like to learn more about this, or tell us more cringy stories, let me know. Comment and like down below, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and I will see you later. This is Suits, signing out.